On to the story now. Gauteng contributes about a third of the country's gross domestic product, making its growth essential if the country is to miss a possible technical recession, which is an Achilles heel to the country's economy. Our business reporter Ntokozo Khumalo attended a Gauteng Growth and Development Agency workshop to find out what the province is doing to become more competitive and contribute more to the country's economy.
Well, Gauteng's economy is not just a major contributor to South Africa's GDP, but is in the top 10 of the largest economies on the continent, making its competitive edge essential for economic growth. And just for a little bit more detail on how we can go about seeing that growth in the province, I am now joined by Barbara Ziane, who is the Director of Economic Planning at the Department for Economic Development. Thank you for your time. As a starting point, could you talk us through Gauteng's industrialization approach and how that will help grow the province's economy?
Gauteng is, as you know, that we're the economic hub of this province, of the country, contributing a lion's share to the national GDP. So we are guided by what we call the Growing Gauteng Together. We call it GGT 2030, call it the NDP of the province. So basically what that does is within the GGT 2030, there are key programs which have been outlined, one of them being to ensure that we support trade and investment into the province, and then to ensure that we support small businesses. We've got a variety of programs that are there to support our small businesses to industrialize. We have adopted the multi-tier special economic zones. It's a huge flagship program for the province to ensure that we support our industries within the 10 key priority sectors. Some of those sectors are your auto sector. You've got your energy, mainly focusing on the diverse energy mix. You've got tourism, agro-processing, amongst others. So we are also looking at, in so much as we have identified the sectors to support these industries in the sectors, is mainly through infrastructure program. The SEZ, as I've indicated, but to support also our other small businesses is through revitalization of the industrial parks across the province, across the 5 corridors of the province. So that's in the main what we are focusing on. But maybe not to forget a very important program that we call it the Township Revitalization Program, that we're implementing it through the township, through the implementation of the Township Economic Development Act. So these are some of the programs that we're doing in Gauteng to support the growth of the province. But partnerships are very important to us. So you would understand that from the manufacturing perspective, 8 out of 10 industries are actually located in this province. So it is very important to ensure that we forge partnerships to be able to support this sector. So we are partnering with a variety of private sector organizations to be able to assist us to support these industries.
And you've mentioned the township economy. Could you talk us through how that forms part of really localizing the implementation of AFTA, and for those businesses in the township economy to really benefit from that agreement and also be part of driving the economy?
So I mentioned earlier that the Growing Gauteng Together is supported by a range of other policies. From the trade and investment perspective, we've got the Gauteng Trade and Investment Strategy, which we are currently implementing. And this workshop, it's mainly meant to also ensure that we are supporting our small businesses by giving them the required information for them to be able to know what is required for them to be able to trade, outside of the borders or in Africa. But also from the perspective of the Trade and Investment Strategy, we've got a pillar there, a sub-pillar that talks about supporting small businesses in terms of goods and services. We talk about supporting small businesses to be able to access some of the incentives that they're able to assist, which are able to assist them to be able to trade, within the African context. In terms of us ensuring that we strategically bring on board the African countries, we've got what we call the Twin City Agreement. That's what the Premier basically signs with the different cities. Now, in the African context, we're actually promoting for that, so that we find it, so that our small businesses, especially township businesses, can find it easier to access, the African markets through those platforms. But adding to what our DTIC, the sister department, is actually doing in terms of, taking them towards trade missions.
Barbara, thank you so much for talking to us. Of course, that was Barbara Ziane, who is the Director for Economic Planning at the Department for Economic Development in Gauteng, just giving us some insights into the programs that her department is working on to ensure that Gauteng can remain the economic powerhouse not only in South Africa but also in the rest of the continent. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Tohozo Kumalo in Johannesburg.